Okay, this is just what is happening with these Wuben E7s. I have two of them here. This one's completely dead, and it smells like burnt from inside. And all I did was just put in the charging port. Just tried to charge it from the normal flap, no problem, right? And it charged for about 5 minutes and then just died. And this, as you can see, I'm going to turn off all the lights so you can see what's going on here. What I'm doing is I'm plugging in here. I'll turn on the light enough to show you what I'm doing. All I'm doing is plugging in. See the little sparks? I don't know if you can see this. See the little sparks? That's how much it fried it by just using the charging port. So this is the second one. The first one did this as well. When I put in the charging, the first one died and I thought it was a fluke. So they sent me this one. And it worked fine until I had to charge it. And then I plugged in the charging port, you know, just the normal flap here. Try to get it off here. Come on, get off. So I just charged it in here. Look, just a normal charging port right there. And it worked for about 5 minutes. And then it died totally. And now it smells super burnt inside. Like this is burnt out from just using the charging port. Okay, so it's done it again on the one they sent me to replace the second one. So this is the third one that has died by just using the charging port. I just did a test, like a runtime test on it, and I was like, oh wow, it gets an hour and 23 minutes on high. Wow, that's pretty good. So then it turned off, and I'm like, okay, I gotta charge it up. So I let it sit for 2 minutes. I checked the temperature. It was just like a little warm. It wasn't even really hot. Because, you know, as the battery goes down, it, you know, gets colder and colder and colder. So while it still works, here, let's plug it in. Look, it'll still work. Right? Look, oh, nice. The charging port is dead now. So let's plug in something. Here, I'll turn even more light on. Let's plug in the charger. Look, nothing. Zip. Zipola. Charging port totally dead. And if you look at the voltage on the battery, see how it's... Here, I'll see if it... There, I'll... 3.77. So it needs charging. So it should theoretically charge. But it doesn't, because the charging port did the same thing. Worked for about 5 minutes and then died. So these charging ports are very, very weak on the E7s. They're very weak. And I'm making this video to send to Wuben. I guess they'll send me a fourth one. And what I recommend is don't use these charging ports unless they're either dead cold, like wait like half an hour before using them, or use an external charger. Because these charging ports are extremely weak. I want to send these back to Wuben and go, okay, Wuben, what are you doing? These are very weak, because most people don't have a $100 external charger. They just have these, and they go, oh, I ran my battery down, I better just plug it in, and it doesn't work. Watch, here, we'll try another couple of other things. Here's just a normal power bank that I have here right now. Look, just normal power. Watch when I try to charge it in. It'll detect it, and it'll say, oh, okay, I should charge. Then it'll start flashing, which means that there's a short. in the, see, watch, here, I'll plug it in. Look, it goes, oh, I better charge it. Flash, 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 short. And doesn't charge. So if you own one of these EB7s, I would only use the charge port in an emergency. And for Wuben, I would highly recommend taking a look at your charging ports and the circuitry in them, because they're very, very weak. And they charge about 5 watts, which is 1,000 milliamps, which is very high for charging. Maybe put it down to 500. I don't know. Because watch, I'll plug in my Sofern, right? This is just a Sofern. I've charged this like 50 times. Look, I've had it on high. Here, watch. Plug it in. Look at that. Charges right away. So what's the problem with the Wuben? See, 5 watts, 1,000 milliamps. So what's the problem with these? Look, here's 2. This one's totally burnt, and it's shorting, as you can see by the sparks. This one just died by just plugging in the charging port. Look, that's all I did. Just did that. Look. Wuben. Okay, we're just gonna do that again because it was a little hard to see because it's not the daytime or anything. So look, I'm just plugging it in. Right here, look, see, battery's in, battery's on, works. Same thing, plugging in. It goes, oh, look, something to charge. Oh, short. No charge light.